Hey there, it's Ernest from Astute. In this video, we're doing a destination review of Joshua Tree National Park. Joshua Tree National Park is part of Southern California's high desert and is approximately 130 miles east of Los Angeles. The park is named after the iconic Joshua Tree, which gained a lot of popularity from the U2 album during the late 80s. The name actually comes from Mormon settlers who crossed the Mojave Desert in the mid-19th century. The tree's unique shape reminded them of a biblical story in which Joshua reaches his hands up to the sky in prayer. We went to the park in May 2017 and wanted to share some of the highlights from our trip, as well as some tips for visiting Joshua Tree and the surrounding areas. In terms of places we visited, here are some of the highlights. Number 1, the Hidden Valley and Barker Dam Nature Trail. Both of these trails offered some easy hiking and interesting landscapes. These are great trails that are accessible to anyone. Just be careful when you are walking though. We ended up crossing paths with a baby rattlesnake during our hike. Number 2, Arch Rock. This is a popular camping area within the park, but what makes it so cool are the number of large rocks in the area. It's like a natural playground filled with archways, boulders, and even some small tunnels and caves. Number 3, Skull Rock. This is a quick stop in the park, but it's an interesting landmark. The giant rock resembles a human skull, making it a popular location to snap a photo or video. Number 4, Keys View. This is toward the west end of the park. The views from this area of the Coachella Valley are incredible. From this location, you can see the San Andreas Fault Line, the Salton Sea, and the peaks of San Jacinto and San Gorgonio Mountain. Number 5, Lost Horse Mine Trail. This trail is not far from Keys View and offered a 4 to 5 mile incline hike to an abandoned mine. The mine is actually fenced off, but the highlight was the trail itself. It's very secluded and offered some beautiful views of the landscape. Number 6, the Cholla Cactus Garden. This was actually my favorite stop within the park. The garden is home to the Cholla jumping cactus, which are famous for being extremely sticky and difficult to remove. There are actually signs everywhere warning visitors to be careful of the cacti. I had seen a few YouTube videos of people getting completely covered with the cactus needles and had read stories about it being feared in the desert by the Native Americans. Against my better judgment, I decided to test how easy it would stick to the strap of my backpack. After a couple of failed attempts, I decided to pick up one of the smaller cactus pieces that had fallen on the ground. Surprisingly, it poked deep into my finger. When I tried to get it off, it was as if it hooked onto me, and I ended up getting it stuck on my other hand, even though I was trying to touch around the spines. What I learned is that the spines have microscopic barbs, which make it seem like the cactus is trying to latch onto you. Luckily, I had packed my keychain Leatherman, which allowed me to safely detach the cactus from my hand. It was definitely a funny but painful experience. In terms of places to stay, we booked an Airbnb in 29 Palms, which is near the North Entrance station. The house was really nice and even had a wonderful backyard and hot tub. The town was great too. We ended up eating dinner at the Thai Cafe, which is along the main road, only a couple of blocks away from our Airbnb house. I've included a link to get $40 off your first Airbnb rental in the comments section below. If you're planning to take a trip to Joshua Tree, here are some tips. Number 1, stay on the trails. Even though you may be tempted to walk off the trails, you may want to think twice. Not only are there a lot of cacti in the area, but you never know when you might encounter some wildlife, like a snake. Also, if you're traveling with kids, just remind them to watch where they are stepping and be aware of their surroundings. Number 2, bring tons of water. Joshua Tree is hot. I would double the amount of water that you would normally carry when hiking. Also, we bought a large jug of water at the store before entering the park, but wanted to keep the water cool when we were hiking. We packed several Swell insulated water bottles that kept the water nice and cold the entire day. I highly recommend them. Number 3, bring sunscreen and a hat. This might seem like a no-brainer, but even I underestimated the sunlight. While there are some opportunities to find shade among the rocks, there isn't much vegetation to block the sunlight when hiking on the trails. Number 4, wear proper footwear. I saw a lot of folks on the trail with flip-flops. While it may seem appropriate since it's so warm, it's actually quite dangerous given the amount of cacti and wildlife around. And by wildlife, Did I mention that we ran into a rattlesnake on the trail? Number 5, pack snacks. Once in the park, we didn't see any opportunities to buy food or refreshments, so it makes sense to carry some snacks. Just keep in mind that your food might melt because of the heat, so I would avoid things like chocolate, which can get messy. Number 6, pack a first aid kit. Joshua Tree National Park is large and vast, so you won't see the rangers in the park very often. Also, phone reception was very limited, so be prepared by carrying a first aid kit in case of any emergencies. Number 7, carry a multi-tool. As you probably saw earlier in the video, I had a little encounter with the Cholla jumping cactus. I tried to remove it with my hands, but because of the way the cactus spines are designed, it made the situation even worse. Luckily, I had packed a small Leatherman tool, which allowed me to remove the cactus spine. It definitely saved the day. Number 8, bring wipes or hand sanitizer. While there are bathrooms at almost every trailhead, we did notice that the bathrooms lacked places to wash your hands. I would recommend packing some wipes or at least some hand sanitizer. Number 9, bring a spare battery pack. While this is always a useful item to carry whenever you are traveling, I found that my phone battery drained especially fast in the high heat and because it was constantly searching for a wireless signal. Number 10, download offline maps. This was super useful as well. We ended up downloading the maps for Joshua Tree National Park on the Google Maps app. Then we marked the locations that we wanted to visit. This helped us to plan out the activities based on proximity. Also, since the map data was on the phone, we could even use the navigation without a phone signal. Number 11, get a National Park annual pass. Admission into the park is $25, but if you plan to visit other national parks during the year, and if not, you really should, then I would suggest purchasing a National Park annual pass. It costs $80 and you can register 2 people with the pass, allowing you to share it with someone else, making it an incredible deal. In addition to Joshua Tree, we visited some interesting places in the surrounding areas. This included the Integratron in Landers, which is a facility built in the late 70s that was inspired by aliens, where you can experience an acoustic sound bath. I know it sounds completely insane, but it was probably one of the coolest things I have ever experienced. We did a review of the Integratron in a separate video, so definitely check it out. It's not technically in Joshua Tree, but it's just a city over and definitely worth a visit if you're planning to be in the area. Also, we visited Palm Springs and stopped in 2 interesting places. One was a temporary exhibit by Doug Aiken called The Mirage. It's basically a house surrounded both inside and out by mirrors, creating a very unique effect. It's a temporary exhibit, so definitely check ahead if you're planning to be in the Palm Springs area. Lastly, we took the aerial tramway up to Mount San Jacinto State Park. While the temperatures in Palm Springs was close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it was a comfortable 70 degrees at the top of the mountain. After taking the scenic ride up to the mountain station, we hiked on the trails and saw incredible views of the desert landscape below. I've posted Amazon links to some of the products mentioned in this video. I do get a small percentage if you use my link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps me to continue building content for this channel. If you have any questions, comments, or additional tips, please leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please hit the like button. Also, please consider subscribing. It's free and you'll get notifications on our new posts. Until next time, travel safe and travel smart.